In this video, I will show you how to reverse the wheel direction on the Aspire with a hand lever with the new style control board. The tools you will need are a 5mm T-wrench, a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a pair of wire cutters, 3 zip ties, and a 2.5mm Allen wrench. First, turn off and unplug your wheel. Locate the black socket head cap screw that locks the wheel head in place. Using a 5mm T-wrench, loosen the set screw. Then lift up on the wheel head to remove it. Position your wheel on its back to gain access to the bottom cover plate. To remove the rubber feet using a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, then remove the bottom plate. Using a pair of wire cutters, remove the zip tie that holds the potentiometer wires in place. Next, separate the 3 butt connectors that connect the hand lever assembly to the potentiometer harness. Using a 2.5mm Allen wrench, loosen the hand lever metal hub and remove it. Next, use a number 2 Phillips screwdriver to remove the 2 screws that mount the hand lever to the switch panel. Once those are off, remove the hand lever assembly from the housing. Now unscrew the top ground wire from the frame. Be sure to capture the brass flat washer and the tooth washer. Next, remove the belt by pulling the belt off the pulley wheel as you turn the pulley wheel. Using a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, begin removing all 5 screws located behind the pulley wheel. Locate the 2 frame mount screws at the bottom of the housing and remove them with the number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Next, cut the zip tie that holds the fuse in place and unscrew the middle ground wire that originates from the power cord. Now, taking the wheel frame, start maneuvering it away from the wheel housing. You will have to pivot it away from the switch plate, and you may need to move some of the wires out of the way in order to do this. The motor tower will also push back on the housing, so continue to pivot the frame as needed to clear the motor from the housing. To change the wheel direction, locate the black and red wires on the control board and switch them. Remove the black wire from the A+ position, then remove the red wire from the A- position. Plug the red wire into A+, and finally the black wire into A-. When remounting the frame back to the housing, make sure all the harnesses and wires can clear the frame. In this instance, I had to loosen the ground wire attached to the housing so I could clear it from the frame. Reinstall the 2 frame mounting screws at the bottom of the housing using a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Don't tighten them all the way down. Reinstall the 5 screws at the top behind the pulley assembly. As before, do not fasten any of the screws all the way down until all are in. Afterward, go back and tighten down the 2 screws at the bottom of the housing. Reassemble the brass washer and the tooth washer to the ground wire and screw. Then remount it to the wheel frame using a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Reassemble the brass washer and tooth washer to the control board wire and remount it to the wheel frame. Replace the hand lever potentiometer assembly back into the body of the wheel. Be sure to orient it properly. Using the two panhead screws, remount the assembly back onto the switch plate. Connect the potentiometer harness back together, brown to brown, blue to blue, and white to white. Using a zip tie, tighten down the connectors together. Cut off the excess tie and push the harness back through the frame. Zip tie the other two ground wires along with a fuse to the plastic frame mount. Tighten the zip tie, then cut off the excess. In this step, we are going to reinstall the hand lever. First, ensure that the hole of the set screw lines up with the flat part of the potentiometer stem. Once it is aligned, place the metal hub of the hand lever over the potentiometer stem. Use a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench to tighten the set screw securely. To replace the belt back onto the pulley assembly, start by feeding the belt around the small pulley, matching the ridges of the belt to the grooves of the small pulley. Take the belt to the larger pulley and start stretching it across. There should be some tension, so as you feed it onto the large pulley, rotate the pulley to assist the belt seating. Replace the metal bottom cover plate by securing its 6 rubber feet using a No. 2 Phillips screwdriver.